Hello. All right, so we're back after our loss to the Swans. It was a good match in a lot of ways. There were a lot of positives. Let me just get all my clothes out of the background. There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, things to like, but yeah, again, just didn't get it over the line. So we're going to go over some of the basics. I do want to just give me 1 second. We're going to pull up the match stats and yeah, just go over some of the basics in terms of what we did well, what we didn't, all that jazz. So I'm going to chuck the link in the chat as well. So if you want to come join, you're welcome. Have your say, that sort of thing. Feel free. But yeah, quickly we'll touch on the match. I think we can just quickly stay on the scoreline for a second. I mean, we started playing well in the second quarter. They only got 3 points. Third quarter we did again pretty well, but couldn't quite keep them at bay. And then in the fourth, we just had about a 5 or so minute period where we just couldn't do it. Similar to the start, where we had a 5 or so minute period where we just weren't on top. Now we'll go into some of the team stats quickly. We've got disposals, all of it we were up. We were slightly down on disposal efficiency, and likewise inside 50s, efficiency inside 50. But I mean, it was pretty dang close. I think the less said about the free kicks, the better. They got a fair few right in front of goal. Now, we didn't do great in terms of hit-outs, obviously, but again, we pretty much matched it. I mean, we had one less centre clearance. We equaled the stoppage clearances. So very excited to see what we might be able to do in the future. Now, contested, about the same. Uncontested, we had a fair bit more. I think we could have been a little bit more direct to goal in, say, that last quarter or so. But yeah, it was a reasonable result. We had less turnovers than our opponent for once, which is good to see. A little bit more than our average, but not bad nonetheless. And then we get to possession. Now, we were up for majority of the match, leveled it out, which, I mean, it was a very close match. So it's good to see that was pretty much on par. The last quarter, they had it slightly more than us. And in the last 10 minutes, also slightly more than us. Marks, we were about even through majority of the match. Didn't take any marks inside 50 in the last quarter, which is a bit frustrating, as that might have helped us get over the line there, specifically in that sort of last 5 minutes or so. Pretty close. I mean, shots, we had the same amount of scoring shots per match. Similar time in front. Tackles, we did a little bit more than them and more than our season average, which is good. Tackles inside 50, we did significantly more than them and our season average. And then we had a fair few bounces, but we let them get a few back in that last quarter as well. Pretty much in front of the 1%ers all match. So yeah, it was an interesting, like these are, I mean, majority of this is kind of stats. You see this and you think, worst case scenario, it's a very close loss, and that's kind of where we are. They generally point in our favour. We'll quickly go over some of the Saints stats. I'll quickly double check if anybody's come in or if anybody said anything. Not yet, but come say hello. Come, have your say. And then, yeah, we'll go over some of the team stats. Now, Windy did quite well. Not one centre clearance, but all stoppage clearances there. He didn't actually attend any centre bounces either. So this was a lot of just wing work, that sort of stuff. And I don't think we can do that here, unfortunately. We can only do that on the phone. But yeah, we'll have some interesting stats for him going into the review with SaintsTV. I think he was pretty close to man on match, but Jack Steele did a fair bit tonight. So I want to look at it back before I kind of make our final sort of decisions there. Naz had a very interesting match, Wood similarly, but I'll stick on Naz for a moment. Look, 700 plus meters gained is always a pretty dang good match 3 clearances. I believe 2 of them were from centre clearances, but we'll go to more extensive stats in a sec. Not a bad match, but he spent a lot of time forward of the ball, which was interesting to see. I'll be honest, a little bit of a worry, as it's similar to what Carlton's doing with TDK now that he's not signed. So a little bit worried about that, to be honest with you all. But he did quite well. He got into the guts a little bit, got behind the ball a little bit. I don't think he was played in front of the ball too much. I think it was to kind of give us a little bit more forward connection. And I think he did that reasonably well. Moving on to Wood. Now, Wood had an all right match. Also 5 clearances, all from stoppage. But that sort of last 5 minutes or so, geez, he just couldn't quite do what you'd want from an experienced player. And just getting it in long and kind of one of those sort of last few moments, he had opportunities where he probably just goes the sort of meters and takes the best opportunity there. But otherwise, he played a very good match. That first sort of couple of quarters was really good. Quickly check what we've got. Oh, geez, Oracle. Thank you very much. Look, come and chat anytime. Anytime. Thank you, Meg. The boys were really good. There's a lot to be proud of. Boxall got to play a full game. He got a goal. We'll get on to some of these players soon. But, there's a lot to be proud of. And thank you very much. We've got Mighty Melbourne Stars here. A little less excited. But, yeah, he says Wood cost us the game. I don't necessarily agree. We had a lot of opportunities. I think he definitely didn't take advantage of that sort of last 5 minutes or so where he could have maybe been the hero. But he did a lot of good things throughout the match as well. Thank you again, Meg. You have a jump on anytime. Come say hello. We've got Devos as well. Great result today. Those that stuck around last week for the ladder predictor. Draft capitals could derail. Look, you're looking at the first 2 picks being West Coast, the second 2 picks being Richmond, and then the 2 picks after that potentially being Essendon. So, we could be a bit down that sort of ladder, especially if they do bid on some of the players that are looking good there. But it was a great match. It's an annoying loss because if we are going to win, I'd like to win these matches, especially against the good sides. But it shows we are getting closer. Sort of getting nervous that Naz hasn't signed. Yeah, Nick, I kind of agree. This next week or so is going to be where my heart's kind of going, all right, boys, if we've got it done, please announce it. We're all a little bit nervous here. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of this sentiment. Look, didn't get the win. I don't think we will lose every game for the rest of the year unless we actually tank. We've just got sides that are very winnable. So we'll get back to some of the player stats, and then we'll go into some of the more depthy stuff in a moment. Wilkie played a really good match. Brad Hill could have been better, but we've said that a fair bit. Got out a lot, though. He got out and got those sort of marks on the fat side. Could have used the ball a little bit better. That's kind of where it sits with Brad. He does a lot of the things right. He just sometimes at critical moments, because we ask him to be in the critical moments, he won't always be able to execute. So it's frustrating, but he played a reasonable match. Sinclair, similar. Got that goal early. Got another behind as well. Should have mentioned that with Steele too. But yeah, Sinclair did a reasonable match. Didn't quite get out as much as we'd like. We'll move on. McRae could have done better. 5 clearances, mostly from stoppage. Not terrible. Goal assist, not amazing. A good amount of tackles though. So yeah, good match. Not amazing. Rowan, 1 goal, 1, played a lot of time forward. 13 hit outs, 1 clearance, a few marks that were kind of strong and where we needed it and where we've needed it for weeks. So not bad. Max Hall was held to kind of pretty, lower than you'd expect from him. The last few weeks he's been off the chain, but he did get 3 goals again to match his highest output so far. So, keep doing what he's doing. If this is sort of his low matches, that's great. Garcia, also a kind of not his best match. Didn't get a clearance, got a bunch of tackles. Did get off the chain out of centre, though, on the receive from the centre clearance and kicked that massive goal. So, bit to like from Garcia as well. Probably not his biggest match. Mitchie had 1 out in the full, but 2 great goals. Just juked his man twice, well, both times rather. Got a clearance, got an assist. Did a lot right tonight. It would have been great if he had kicked that one, considering we lost by, 5? But, you can't get them all. So really not the worst night from Mitch. Alex, he turned it over in a really unfortunate positions and cost at least 1 goal, if not a couple. Look, he's young. He could have played a lot better, but that's just where we're at. That's young kids. They're going to have down games. I think we've got to keep pumping matches into him. Stocker, reasonable match. Fair few marks out the back. Saved a few with intercepts. Hasty could have done a fair bit more tonight. Had 2 sort of, shots on goal going inside 50, running onto it. Got 1 point from it. So he could have been the matchmaker tonight. Okay match. Nothing amazing. Cooper Sharman played all right. He could have done more. He got a clearance for us and got 2 goals, but yeah, nothing to really write home about. And Jack Higgins and the rest of these guys is probably where we're starting to discuss some players more often that didn't quite get the job done. Higo with the 9 disposals, just missed a shot. Just didn't quite do enough. Liam Henry, similar. The 2 clearances were reasonable. I think they were both stoppage clearances. We'll have to go back and double check, but yeah, not quite enough there. Caminiti was all right. Heath played pretty well. We'll give him his flowers there. Got a goal. 10 hit outs as well. 3 clearances, and I believe 2 were from centre. We'll come back to that in a second. Boxall, not terrible. Didn't quite do enough. Hunter Clark, yeah, not great. Likewise with Butler. He put on a fair bit of pressure. Unfortunate injury. Hopefully he'll be okay, but yeah, there's a few there that, if we had one player that played better tonight, geez, we could have gotten this game. Like if we had a Max King, as much as Heath played well. If we had Max King in Heath's place, he might have kicked 2 goals to Heath's 1, right? If we had, Pooh in for Hunter Clark or Dan Butler, maybe he's getting forward and kind of making sure we get one. So I think we'll kind of one players stepping up away from winning tonight, which is a bit frustrating. But look, we got a lot of young kids in, so hopefully we start seeing some consistency, and then we get 1 or 2 popping off. We've got a few more comments here. Confident Naz will stay. Meg, I've been confident throughout the year. I'm losing confidence, to be honest with you. But we've got a week or so before I start getting a little bit worried. Shout out to Dodson this week in the 2s as well. We'll probably bring that up again in a moment. Sharman competed well. Huge difference it makes not getting intercept marked on every second entry. Yeah, it does. We knew that Sydney's key pillars defensively aren't quite the same as the previous weeks that we've versed teams. Yeah, it was a good night to get Heath in and give him a shot, and he did reasonably. mentioned it last week, when Sharman and Owen don't get the Barras and McCartans of the world, it allows them to use their strengths. Bang on. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Old and wise. Look, yeah, that's it. Hopefully, I can learn a thing or two about what happens. Maybe I'll get to settle down in this coming week. We'll see. But let's get into some of the wrong way. Let's get into some of the advanced stats. Double check some of the things I said earlier. Naz with the 3 centre clearances, Steele with 2, Heath with 2 as well. We've got Mason Wood. Oh, he did get the 1 centre clearance. Rowan Marshall with 1. McRae, Hall, and Clark. So not terrible there. Intercept possessions. Cal Wilkie just amazing tonight. Amazing. There was a couple of other ones for his 4. Mitch Owens was just poor. He was just getting them tonight. It's been a while since we've had somebody actually getting free kicks for us. So it was good to see Mitchy use his body appropriately. We had Steely with 9 score involvements, Windhager with 8 as well. There was some interesting stuff. I'm not sure if we'll have it through the AFL yet. Yeah, so Max Heath hit out to win and hit outs to advantage, only 1 less. Ruck contests had a fair bit less than Roma. So I think Heath looks worth persisting with. If I'm 100% real, Heath looked all right. His attempted mark inside 50. Do I have marks inside 50 here? We do. I don't know if he actually got it in the end, but every time he was trying to mark inside 50, it was jukes out. And yeah, it's been a little bit since we've seen somebody strong enough to put the jukes out and hold position. So while Keeler's injured with his hamstring, provided he doesn't have any issues with the match committee for the hit on McCartan, I think he gets a fair crack in the ones. And if he doesn't, Dodson did look good. So I'll pull up that in a second. Let's just get rid of this for now. And I'll just go to get the Sandy results. Let's pull that up. So I'm going to try and get that actually on a different screen now that I think about it. So did we? Give me a second. But who did you think played well? Because I've got probably Windy as winning it in terms of like the man of the match, but I'm not certain about that. So if you think anybody really stood out, let us know. But let's quickly go over to this tab and share that instead. All right, so we've got the twos here. So we won the twos. In case you guys didn't know, we got the job done quite convincingly in that last quarter. Darcy Wilson played very well, 8 tackles, 6 clearances. Paddy Dow as well played very well. Dodson killing it with hit outs. He got 3 goals as well. And then we've got Ari Schoenmaker also playing very, very well. So I think they're probably the ones looking at coming in sometime soon if we are to. Toby didn't play amazingly, but as far as I know, he didn't play terribly. We'll see if we can get some advanced stats through here. We get a little bit. Dodson with 6 score involvements, 3 intercept possessions. Patrick Settle, geez, he played very well. Stick to Zebras. And then, yeah, Darcy Wilson, Paddy Dow killing it with the inside 50s. Schoenmaker did pretty well as well. So Paddy Dow looks potentially ready to come in. And then do we get nope. Okay. So pretty good effort from the twos. So I think we can take a little bit of solace there. There's some kids that are, again, pushing for selection, even if we didn't get it done tonight. Let's have a quick look at what's going on here. The development structure is looking strong at the moment. I agree. Players are developing well at Sandy, which is only going to improve when we take control of the VFL program. I completely agree. We're starting, honestly, I think Sandy, I think they've kind of, I don't know, I feel like they've got other things to deal with now. And we are kind of running the show at the moment in some regards. But I guess time will tell. We'll see how things go next year. Very excited. Not sure why we've brought up these just very good key forwards. But yes, it would be good to have one of them in play. Maybe that was what we were talking about before. Yeah, it would be good to have one of them in place. They could have, been the difference makers today. Very impressed with Windy, his growth. He was very clean today. Yeah, he went at 88% as well for disposal efficiency. Now, if you haven't seen my video, I don't always put it disposal efficiency super high in terms of what it actually means. But, it's better than being in the 60s, 50s. He's been in previous weeks. So really good efforts from him there. Garcia using his step to hit the corridor more often as well. Yeah, Garcia was looking really good tonight. He didn't get it enough as much as I'd like, but he looked good. A lot of our kids are looking good, and just got to keep this up. Yeah, there's an element of that. We smashed it this week. Look, I'm gonna have one bet. We smashed it this week. We haven't done previously, but yeah, a lot of the key forwards all killing it. If we could get some tall timber, yeah, it'd be really helpful. But yeah, we're not trying to play finals particularly anymore. The percentiles of what I think we're sitting with, I think we're out now. I think we're out of, I'd have to double check. But I'm pretty sure we're done now. So that's our season. Well, mostly. That's the main bit of the season now. Max King, yeah, was in a knee brace. Doesn't look ideal yet, but he's just had surgery, so give it a bit. Otherwise, look, I'm gonna come back to just some of the players really quickly. I think we had a reasonable effort tonight. I'm going to share. Sorry. Also, I'm going to check the link in chat as well. If you do want to join, feel free to come and join. But yeah, basically, we'll quickly go over some of the stats. I shouldn't have completely closed that out. Yeah, that one. So yeah, we did all right tonight. Lots of things to like. But yeah, just didn't get it done. Like, I don't know. I think the main issue in terms of tonight was we were young. We had a lot of silly mistakes that kids make, and that will slow down over time. It's one of those matches where, like, if Taru didn't screw up a couple of times early, maybe even if, we had Wood getting it in a bit quicker at the end, like there's a lot of different reasons we could have won this match. Like moments you could look back on and say that could have gotten it done. But it's just where we're at as a side. Like it's tough. No, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, that's where we're at as a side. Like, it's good to see Marcus kind of leading the way, even when he's not in the guts, right? Like, he's moved to an outside role, didn't have any centre-bounce attendances tonight, got a really good, amount of footy, played a really integral role, something that we've been, kind of missing. Like we've mentioned that Hill could have played a bit better. Wood could have played a bit better. They're kind of our most outside players for the last couple of years. I mean, it's not like Wood played terribly, Hill played terribly, neither played terribly. But I mean, to see Marcus getting these sort of numbers is a good step in the right direction. So yeah, I mean, it's a tough night to review in terms of it's very similar to what we've gone through over previous weeks. I don't know, like we've improved in so many aspects. Like we are winning a lot of these key stats and at least breaking even when we're not winning. So yeah, it's difficult. Let's double check what we've got. Yes, I do say no to disposal efficiency. Go check the vid if you haven't seen the video. It's a good little chat with Liam Crowhurst. But yeah, Windy was probably my man in the match. I'll double check tomorrow, maybe later tonight. I've got a bit of time up our sleeves. He's becoming very reliable to the point where he's going to have to be. I mean, we're talking about key signings in the next few weeks. Naz, obviously one of the biggest. Windy's up there too. We've also got Max Hall that we need to get done. I mean, these are some of the youngest players that are kind of being best on in a lot of regards. So yeah, it's interesting. We've got to get this sorted. Windy's one of our big ones now. Problem with half the Saints players is they're riding the glass Harley on the weekends. I don't think that is the case, mate. The majority of them are very young. But yeah, hitouts 23 to 52. Although can't blame Heath and Moose. Yeah, the Moose got loose in some regards. Probably a little too loose in some regards. I hope he's not in trouble with match 20. But yeah, it's it's tough. I don't know. We'll if Moose is in trouble, we've got Dodson playing well. Moose played pretty reasonably. He got a lot of things to like, and a less than 6 point loss against somebody that was in the grand final last year, even if they haven't played particularly well this year, is a reasonable result for being so young. Wonder if let me double check. Have we got any of the advanced stats? Some of them, but not the ones I want. All right. Yeah. Well, they all made some errors, but didn't give up. Yeah, pressure was good throughout the match. Yeah. Look, neutral. It's good to see a couple of neutrals. Let us know what you thought of the game. Yeah, scoring from set shots, like, geez, I kept just praying they'd miss, and they never did. It was absurd. And then there was moments with going over. I mean, Owens isn't the greatest set shot. He's not bad on the run, but yeah, he's just not a great set shot. And hopefully we can get that sorted in the off season. Get Matty Lloyd in. I don't know. We've tried goal kicking coaches before. Yeah, Jerry will be in trouble for that swing. I'm worried that I didn't get a good look at Max Heath's hit on Tom McCartan, but I'm a little bit worried there. I'll have to watch that back. None of our young players are particularly soft anymore. No, it was good to see. We got what, the last 2 weeks, Garcia running in, flying the flag. Heath just with that massive tackle. That was a great tackle on Grundy. I've seen some of the commentary after the match, but yeah, it was like at the match, I thought like Heath was going to get stepped around, and it just had the feeling of like, oh, first game player, he's going to get shown up, and then just went with him, took him down. Saints players got into him. It was good. It was good to see. Yeah, do question why Owens has license with some of the set shots he goes for. Yeah, he's just not. He's not great at it. He's not great at it. Yeah, I mean, Devos, this is what I'm guessing is going on, but we'll leave it. Also, he is a scapegoat at times, but can Brad Hill get some composure when he has the ball? 100%. And this is where I get a little bit iffy with like how I talk about Brad, because some people are really just like they take it too far, and like they're not considering that he does a lot right as well. But yeah, some of the ball use it's just momentum killing, and it's not always. He's gotten better because he's had some matches this year that have been pretty bad, but yeah, it hasn't been a great year for Brad. I think honestly, he could probably take it off if he wanted. Come back next year refreshed. Um, we can probably give games to like a Paddy Dow, considering he's looking all right in the seconds. Wilson, if he's ready to go again, but I think we give Wilson a bit of a stint in the seconds as well, just to hopefully we've got a pretty easy last 3 matches. So I'd like to get him back in for those 3 matches. Hopefully he gets some good results out of it and goes into next year with a bit of confidence. But yeah, I think Brad potentially, as much as Wood played all right, I think Wood might need some either time off just to do what he wants, right? His year's pretty much done. Or yeah, maybe sit up forward, assist with the youngsters. Is Sharman's hand all right? He looked to have hurt it in the second half. Yeah, Sharman hasn't looked 100% for the year, but I mean he looks like he's playing hurt pretty much every match, to be honest with you. So yeah, this week it looked like something was up with his hand. He also didn't kick it particularly. Like when he got his one of his goals, I can't remember if he got more. No, I can double check. But yeah, like with one of his 2 goals, he just scraped it through. Like it was just the distance, probably 35, 40 out. Just got it inside the post. It's not very Sharman-like from years past, so it was a bit odd to see. But he got the goal, so yeah, it was interesting. What else have we got? Dan Butler's arms. Yeah, geez. I hope he's all right. Dislocations are never great, but hopefully it's just a dislocation, not a proper break, and he can maybe have surgery to fix it if he needs. Maybe he doesn't, but he probably does need surgery. I don't know. We've got spots opening up anyway, so maybe we can't really just give Brad and Wood the last couple of weeks off. Yeah, that was pretty silly of me to say now that I think about it. But we will go over the match ladder predictors in a moment, because I want to show you a couple of things for people that weren't here last week. We'll quickly go over it. Do you see us keeping Heath and Dodson on the list as well as De Koning? And what are we hoping to get out of Dow? Good questions. I'll start with the first half of that. I think Heath probably showed enough tonight to like stay on. I think tonight was like kind of a make or break. The last time I think we tried this might have been another ruckman in Lewis Young, actually. Was it Lewis? I forget his name. But yeah, it felt like this was going to be a make or break night for Heath, and I think he did enough to stay on and show. But I have heard whispers that the D's might be into them, and look, we're clearly going to have some movement in our rucks at the end of the year. So who knows? Who knows? What are we hoping to get out of Pearce? That's who I was thinking of, Lewis Pearce. What were we hoping to get out of Dow? I mean, at this point, we're not going to make finals this year. But Paddy Dow's had a wretched run with injuries with us. We haven't been trying to just gift him a game. I think he's only played one game with us, but yeah, I think it'll probably be, can he be a solid backup if we need him? Which we've needed at least a backup almost throughout the entire year. And at points, like if he really does, break out at some point, awesome. But I think if we can have a solid backup, because as much as we've got some reasonable players that, like, Steele could be a great backup. I mean, McRae would be a great backup. Like those sort of things. He's going to be potentially around longer than those guys, right? So hopefully he is, pushing for a main spot and staying in there, but I don't think that's really the main goal for him. In terms of Butler, I don't think he'll hang it up. I think he's got a contract for a little while with us. I think another year or so. But yeah, I don't think he'll hang it up. He's still 29, I think. So he'll be around for another couple of years. Yeah, that wasn't great. Who comes in for Butler? Tough question. Well, let's quickly go to the other screen, share this tab instead, and let's see if I played all right. So we'll go back to basics. Now, Scholes, Dodson played all right. Sade played probably one of his better matches for us. Collard didn't play particularly great. All right, so let's go through it. If we're looking at a forward pocket, we're probably debating between Patrick Said and Collard. I haven't really thought about getting Said in yet, but it might be the way to go. I haven't actually watched him much. So, I mean, if he's been consistently producing okay games, which I don't know that that's really been the case, but if he has, and, he's had a reasonable game here, 4 shots, then yeah, potentially it's his time. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? Blooding another kid would be pretty crazy at this point. This guy, he's a big deal. It's good to see him in the chat. Yeah, look, I don't potentially see a ton in Dow, but yeah, I mean, Dow hopefully helps develop. I mean, Sandy's been shocking, like absolutely shocking. So hopefully we get some continuity there. We can really develop next year, having our own VFL side, and go from there. Dow has upside, not exactly the gold standard of development at the moment. Yeah, well, pretty much that it. Potentially, who would we push forward for, say, Butler, right? I don't know who you'd really go. I don't know. I don't mind bringing Dow in. I think it's not a terrible shout. I think worst case scenario, you're looking at like Dodson or maybe Clark. Clark was on the bench. I mean, he started as the sub tonight, so maybe Clark. Dow is a worse Windhager. I mean, I haven't seen enough of Dow, to be honest. I think Windy's been looking good, so maybe that's just inherently right. But yeah, we joked about playing 4 rucks to the end of the year, but low key, I mean, we might. Like Dodson's looking like he might get a shot before end of year is out. So yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. I don't know. If Heath can stay in, I'd like Heath to stay in. He looks like a man mountain, absolute man mountain. Yeah, Hill could be one. Hills didn't play terribly. We do need a fair bit of outside run. I think Dow is a bit more inside than outside from what I remember, and from what it looks like he did I mean, he got what? How many clearances was it in the end? 14. That's pretty wild. It's similar with Dodson, though. Like 10 clearances is bloody nuts. 10 goals, 10 clearances with 3. Jeez. I mean, 35 hit. That's like almost like basketball numbers. Like 10 clearances, 10 handballs, 10 kicks. I mean, you meant to have like one of those two for the quad double, but like that's for the triple double. But yeah, that's pretty nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's looking like those 3 are probably the most likely to get in next, with maybe Ari. But yeah, I'm not. Who knows at this point? I'd love to see Ari in. Ari's my pick of who I want in. As a general, he's just got a huge kick, and I feel like we just need that sort of kick in the side. Hasty, yeah, he had some nice moments. He had like opportunities to really stamp his name on the game. Not amazing defensively, which is something he's going to need to work on in the off season. But he played all right. He didn't play like bad by any means. In terms of Hasty, let's have a quick look. So Hasty, 12 disposals, 1 behind. He had another shot on goal. He got just the 1 tackle, 1 mark, 164 meters gained from 83% time on ground. Look, could have done a bit better. I mean, we're running him off of a half-back flank with Naz being kind of moved around. We need like reasonable results from that. So not terrible. If he can develop more, perhaps we could see some leadership, potential in the future, but we'll need to see that over next year and the coming years. We finished the year so good last year, but gave us false hope and a worse draft hand. Yeah, look, Nathan, I'm a little bit worried about what I might tell you in a second, so I'm going to stop sharing this for now. We're going to go to the fixture and do the whole tipping thing. How do I do that again? But yeah, it's going to be not the results we want, I think. So let's clear that out. All right, cool. So I have already done a lot of these. I'm going to leave it kind of where we're at. So let's just do that. So I did this the other week, and we kind of got to here before I realized a bit of a problem. We are likely going to win a fair few of our last matches. Now we've finished the year, so we've got Cats next week, which I said we'd lose. I said maybe we win against Melbourne, which is a little bit of a, all right, very possible, but draft hand wise, almost not what we want to happen, right? Because if we win against Melbourne, we end up a spot higher. So we're going to say we win against Melbourne because I think that's a bit likely at this point. Then we've got North, which again, got us winning that, which is a little bit frustrating because again, 1 there. If we lost that, we jump down a fair bit, right? So let's get that there. Where's the next button? And then let's get that there. And then we get to the where are we? The next round, we got Richmond, which again, I've got us winning that, which if we lost that and lost against North and lost against Melbourne, we'd be bottom 3, right? But I don't see that happening, unfortunately. In terms of draft pick wise, I think it's always good to win, but draft pick wise, you've got what you want to get and you got what you don't want to get. Then I haven't even done the last couple of round or the last round or so, right? So I've got Essendon beating us, but if that doesn't happen, we end up at 11th, and then we've got what? Let's just say Hawthorn. Let's go to Crows. Give it to Crows at home. Let's say, let's go Richmond. Richmond to just do it. Why not? And then we'll say they can't make it, so I don't care. And then the Doggies will get that done. So this is what I see the final 8 kind of looking like. And yeah, we've got a run home where we win the last 4, which essentially would be the same sort of thing as last year. This year we're playing okay, but not winning. So the draft hand, yeah. I don't even know if that's the case, right? I think, yeah, we might win a lot. What 3 positions are our top priorities? I mean, midfield is a big one. I think ruck is a big one. Key forward is another big one. I think they're our big 3 at the moment. Seems like we're going to address at least 1, if not 2, in the off season. Maybe 3 if King's particularly, all good to go again. So we'll see. Gihun, hey mate, good to see you alive again. Hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. Sorry. Give Ari a go and push Henry forward. Do want to see Henry get centre bounce minutes to get him involved when he's the most lively option with Collard not warranting selection. Yeah, that's a reasonable take. I think that's not bad. What 3 positions are our top priority? Yeah, we kind of went on that, but yeah, key defender would be all right. We've got Hammer, Leek, Aaliyah rather will likely be coming our way. Inside ball and then key forward, yeah. So pretty similar in a lot of regards. Hasty as a footballer, lock him in. Tend to agree, but need to see more. Up the Saints, love you, Maxi Hall. Couldn't agree more. Jakey, bang on there, mate. Bang on. Clark makes me nervous. He does some lovely work, but he runs slow and he's consistently dragging his feet, almost tripping over himself. Look, Clark is an interesting one. I've said this for a while. He either does something amazing or does something really stupid. Like, I feel like he just doesn't have a ton of in between. Like, I believe a third of his, like, from memory, have to double check it. But last year, I believe like a third of his disposals were score involvements, and then another third of his disposals were turnovers. And it was just like, all right, well, you kind of can't just be going with those numbers. So yeah, I agree. Clark makes me a little nervous. He either does great things or just makes me pull my hair out. Ruck isn't a main area of focus, surely. No, it definitely is. So, I mean, we can quickly go over it, right? So I'll pull up the actual Saints match again. So give me a second. But I can show you why, right? So in terms of why we need a ruck, we'll share this tab instead. So if we go hit out win, like just look at what we dealt with. I mean, 13 hit outs to advantage to what? 6. I mean, 15 hit outs to advantage to 6. It's just like you can't win with that. And like Roma had 60 attendances. He got it. He won it 20% of the time. And of that 20% of the time, less than a third of them went to our like actual teammates. So it's just, you can't win like that. So yeah, I mean, Heath is at least going to get you 10% more win rate, similar hit outs to advantage. I mean, look at like the attendances and what that means, right? And he's a first game player. So as much as Marshall isn't a bad ruckman, he's not a great ruckman. And it really comes down to, I think great ruckmen are great at being like a ruck. Like Marshall's great at being a footballer and getting around the ground and doing things that a lot of rucks can't. But in terms of being like doing what a ruck is meant to do, Marshall has problems there, and that's why we need TDK. I mean, he's not significantly doing better right now. I think he's checked out for the year. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we need an improvement there. If you look at like how we're managing to match it, yet consistently losing in all hit out stats, I mean, it comes down to like, well, we might not even need that much more in terms of center. Like it's hard to tell. Like clearly we need a little bit more in the guts, but maybe we just need somebody that can actually get it to us in the guts. So that's where we definitely need a ruck. In terms of what we might be doing with number 1 pick, Devos might be onto it here. Greaves is looking pretty good. There's Grilge as well. Grilge, I'm not sure how you say that name. If he's in chat or whatever, apologies, but I don't think so. But yeah, there's a few options there, hopefully, but it depends where our draft pick is. Because if we go back to this result, share this tab, I have us winning our last 4. And now if we go back and say we lost our last 4, which I don't think we will, but let's say we lose at least 3 of them. So let's just go back and lose that one, and where's the last one? There it is. If we do that, we end up bottom 4. So we need to specifically lose against Essendon. Melbourne, not so much. But yeah, we could potentially drop below Richmond with 1 win and just getting absolutely, getting absolutely smashed in a few weeks and get into bottom 3. But yeah, I mean, we also don't want to get smashed. So, I mean, close losses would suggest we can only really get like 1 more. Or 1 more win from the year while potentially getting a good pick. So it's a little bit frustrating, but I mean, it's not the end of the world. We'll get a good player in either way. Yeah, exactly right. I mean, center clearances are going to be our thing next year. That's just going to be our shtick. Yeah, brother, I will pick up whoever you need to, like whoever you want me to follow. I'll do it. I figured some sort of level of Jesus thing because of like the Saints and whatever, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Do you move Marshall on, put him in the forward line? Would he be an end of first round pick? Yeah, look, if we were to move him on, it's likely going to be an end of first round pick. Like we would want something in the first round. He's been our key ruckman for a while. You're right there, buddy. You're scratching your ears. All right, I'll clean them out after this. But yeah, I mean, I would keep Marshall. I think at least a year. Like we've got him signed for a year anyway. 2 actually, I think. So I'd at least do 1 year and then go, all right, well, we've got good insurance for TDK if anything happens. We've got good insurance for Marshall if anything happens. I think we probably move on Boyd. I think we end up rolling with 4 rucks into next year with Marshall, TDK, Dodson and Heath. It seems like it was going to be a little 50-50 for Heath, but I think after tonight, he's probably done enough. But we'll see. If we get a first round, I'm guessing for Marshall, we absolutely have to take it. Interesting take. I wouldn't say that because I think we need a key forward. So if we can slot Marshall in there, I think he does enough to at least assist a Max King if Max is fully healthy. I don't think he will lose value hugely next year. maybe a little bit, but like, mate, if we got a first round for Marshall, right, it's likely going to be from Geelong. If it's from anywhere, he's probably staying in Melbourne. He's from Portland. He's got mates that from Portland that play at Geelong. If he's going anywhere, it's probably Geelong. I don't think he does want to go anywhere, from what I understand, but who knows, right? If he were to go anywhere, it's Geelong. They'd be offering their first because they're probably in the window, right? And pick 19 or whatever that it is, pick 17, 16. They're probably okay with parting with that because of how many, particularly kids that are kind of already associated with clubs, are in that sort of top bracket this year. So they're probably expecting to not really be competing with those sort of super top teams for picks this year anyway, which means that, look, we probably get a pick if we get theirs that would push out into the sort of early 20s, which, yeah, in my mind, if we held on to him next year, we're probably getting a pick in the mid-20s. If he loses some value, it's about the same. Like, I figure we just hold on to him. He's going to be more valuable to us next year and potentially longer term than, say, a kid at pick 20. It's speculative. So I'd be holding on to Marshall at least for a year, if not longer. Was that Jake with the scratchy ears? No, that's my dog. Toby, come here. You want some beer? You want some beer? No, you're just being weird. All right. Toby's a bit weird. That's Toby. Hey, bud. How you doing? Right, let's go back this way. But, yeah. What was the point of Clark? Yeah. I mean, preaching to the choir a little bit, mate. I love Clark in some regards, but he hasn't had continuity, which is, obviously not his fault. But when he's been in the side, the difference between his good and his bad is so big that when Jake and I sat down, because we went to the game, watched it, I remember we didn't know who was going to be the sub, and it was like, oh, geez, hope it's not Boxall, that sort of thing. Hope it's not X, Y, and Z. And I was like, well, I kind of hope it is Clark, because maybe you get him on for Boxall. Neither of them can play a full game anyway. And then, Dan Butler got injured, unfortunately, but I think that was probably the plan. So, yeah, I agree in some regards. I'd probably rather take only one player that could only take like half a game match time into a match. I don't think we really can hold to. Yeah, sorry, D-Boss. Sorry about that. But yeah, no, it's been a frustrating one. I think a lot of our players played reasonably well. But yeah, it's been a frustrating one. What I'm kind of hoping for, if we're going to go back to this little thing again, we need a good couple of matches out of Carlton. We need a good couple of matches out of Essendon, Melbourne, and then one of those two needs to win one more match, and then we could potentially sneak into the bottom three, potentially. But I mean, right now, right, it'd be West Coast, Richmond, St Kilda, Essendon, who's that? Hawthorn. So, yeah, just, not great. So, and there'll probably be some picks there. So we don't want to end up here. As much as like winning the last four would feel great, I can't see how we lose to them, which is realistically, we probably need to that's why I was kind of thinking Patrick said, because it was like, we maybe need to tank a little bit, a little bit. But yeah, I think we'll still get a good player either way. So in some regards, definitely don't think we need to tank, but yeah, it's a little bit frustrating to have a very similar thing to last year play out. I mean, I can see it happening. Anyway, let's go through some of these last chats here. Yeah, Bombers won't win another game. They are looking insanely bad. I agree. Yeah, 100% agree. They look shocking. We just need to lose to Melbourne. Just need to lose Melbourne. Can't get bottom four. Yeah. It's going to be a frustrating one. Quickly, Toby's adorable. Yeah, yeasty cocker he is. You bloody know it. He clean him out every bloody 3-4 days, and it's still the same. Got the ointment now, though, so hopefully that gets better. Should we go all in on Reid? Toby, chill out, buddy. Should we go all in on Reid? I would, probably. If we are all right, the only way I'd go all in on Reid is if we lost Naz, realistically. If we were losing Naz, Reid would be Butters, Reid. The outcome of losing Naz needs to be oh shit, the Saints lost Naz, but they got them. So that kind of needs to be our outcome from this if we lose Naz. So I don't think it's going to happen because I'm still believing that it's all but done, and it seems too hard to get Naz to Port, which I'm assuming he wants to go to Port, and us get compensation that's not going to look ridiculous. So I don't see it happening. I don't see how they get it done, but it'd have to be we want Butters, we want Harley Reid, we want somebody like that. So maybe in that regard, saying no to Reid entirely, don't know if I agree. I think we do need a little bit of a bull. I mean, look at how we've rallied around Taru. Look at Moose. We kind of need those kids to rally around. Reid would be perfect for the Saints fan base, in the sense of it gets us up when Taru does the big moments. It gets us up when Pooh kicks a goal, that sort of thing. So, buddy, are you all right? What is going on? All right, we need to clean this out after the thing. But yeah, I think it needs to be equally as shocking of who we get if we're going to lose Naz. But realistically, how can Naz go when Port Adelaide can trade bugger all? Yeah, my mind kind of goes to Butters most likely, because I think he's probably out the door next year. They've already gotten rid of the coach. I think we make a play for Ken Hinkley so that we try and get Butters over the line. Yeah, I mean, I've 100%. Jace is awesome. Jace is a great player. We should get him down in St Kilda. I don't understand why he'd want to be in a shit club like Port Adelaide. Come on, come to the Saints. Yeah, I think Naz can be a top 5 player in the league as well. And I think he's not far off of being able to do that. Butters is about top 5 player in the league now. If we fumble Naz, it's setting us back a few years. Yeah, of course, 100%. Naz is a big loss. I think the only way we could realistically get what we want would be all of Port's future first. We'd probably want to look. There's only one thing that I've heard that has made a little bit of sense in how it might get done, and technically it's not illegal, but it's been frowned upon for a very long time. So everybody would have to be okay with it, but essentially Port would have to offer up their first, obviously, but potentially we get Bergman still. In an American sign and trade style deal. There was an old rule in the. You're all right, but all right. I've got to finish this one. But yeah, there was an old rule in the AFL where I think it was the 80s, which is why players can't be traded against their will. Technically, a sign and trade isn't against AFL rules. It's just been very heavily frowned upon as it's been taken to court before. Now, if Bergman had potentially agreed to go to St Kilda, maybe that's how it gets done. And they've signed him for 2 years. They've said, hey, we've given you this contract, St Kilda will take it over. We're going to give them our 2 future firsts as well. That's it. Like, we'll just get it. We'll get it done. That, I think, could get it over the line. And as much as I don't want it to, I think that's a possibility that we might have to be prepared for. I can't remember the player who it was, but it was in like the late 80s. But yeah, technically not a rule. Very heavily frowned upon. The league has never technically allowed it before or since. But yeah, the AFL Player Association technically does not have it in their rules of what we can and can't do. So maybe that happens. I don't like that as an answer, but maybe that happens. Yeah. I think this is most likely what happens. Port waits 2 years. Both players probably just switch. I don't know if we can get it done, but I can't see how Port get it done unless they're doing something like that. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting off season, but we've got a lot of time to talk about that. We are done with today's chat pretty much. I'm going to go clean out my dog's ears, and that's basically it for the night. I want to thank you all very much for coming along. We'll be back again next week. We've got a slightly earlier game, so we'll have a slightly earlier chat. It's also in Geelong, so I won't be going to that. So hopefully pretty much right after the match, half an hour after the match, we'll have a chat. So look, thank you very much for everybody that popped past, had the words to say. Devos, S&M, Beck, Meg. We've got a few people. You all know who you are. NB, thank you for popping past. Yeah, just going through, get some. That got me. All right. I thought that was going to say Crom. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. That yeah is what I'm going to go do. I've got to go clean out his ears. But yeah, look, thank you very much for everybody popping past tonight. And I'll be back soon. And enjoy your week. Hopefully we can get it done next week. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how I feel about going into the end of the season, but thank you very much, everybody. I'll see you very soon. Cheers. I'm sorry, buddy.